You wake up every morning, and before you even move, you feel it. That storm in your chest. Thoughts, emotions, impulses. Sometimes it's anger. Sometimes it's fear. Sometimes it's that strange emptiness that feels louder than anything else. You look around. Everyone's running, reacting, breaking, and you ask yourself, how many of them are truly in control? Not of the world, not of others, but of themselves. Because that's the real battle, isn't it? Not the fight outside, but the one inside, your own head. You were never taught how to control your emotions. You were only told to stay calm, move on, don't overthink. But no one ever told you how. So you learned the hard way. Through heartbreak, through silence, through watching yourself fall apart over things you couldn't control. And at some point, something inside you changed. You realized emotions aren't enemies. They're signals. They tell you what matters. They show you where you're weak. They remind you that you still care. But they don't have to be your master. They can be your fuel. Weak people explode. They shout. They break. They post. They blame. They let a single emotion decide their worth. But not you. You've seen the cost of losing control. You've seen what happens when people act out of impulse. They destroy everything they've built in seconds. You learn to pause, to observe the chaos without becoming it. You learn to stand still in the middle of the fire and breathe. That's control, not coldness, but outlast. Strength from controlling your emotions doesn't mean you stop feeling. It means you channel them. When anger comes, you don't let it explode. You aim it. When sadness comes, you don't drown. You use it to understand. When fear whispers, you don't run. You listen to it, and walk anyway. This is not suppression. This is mastery. And mastery is a lonely road, because when you control yourself, you stop reacting to people's noise. You stop explaining yourself. You stop trying to prove your peace to those who live in chaos. People will misunderstand you. They'll call you cold, emotionless, arrogant. They won't understand why you don't respond to every insult, every manipulation, They'll think you don't feel anything. But you do. You feel everything. You've just learned not to let every emotion pull the trigger. You've become quiet, not because you're weak, but because silence gives you power. Because when you stop reacting, you start noticing. You start thinking. You start winning battles no one even sees. Now you move differently. You speak less. You observe more. You act only when it matters. People around you still live like slaves, chained by their own emotions. They can't go a day without validation, without proving something, without reacting to everything. But you've become something else. The observer, the one who commands his mind like a soldier. And when your emotions rise, you don't panic. You smile, because you know the storm is inside you, but it obeys you now. And maybe that's what true strength is. Not muscles, not followers, not money, but control. The ability to sit in silence, surrounded by chaos, and still choose who you are. Because the one who controls himself, controls everything. And in the end, it all comes down to one thing: control. Not over others, not over life, but over yourself. Because when you control your emotions, you control your reactions. When you control your reactions, you control your reality. You've made it till the end. That means you're different. You seek growth, not comfort. This is NeuxAyanokoji, reminding you, master your emotions, and you master your life. Subscribe now, and let's evolve together.